today's the day. I need to actually paint with gouache today. Okay. Right, so I'm pulling out my color. That's watercolors. Don't care. This is watercolors. Here we go. So I have to pick which paints, and so for what I'm doing for this class, they like this. I think I said in one of the color swatching videos that they provided me with Holbein Artist Gouache, and it's beautiful. But I'm not going to use it yet because I have all this other gouache. I am going to use it, but I'm doing a thing. Okay, let me explain. So I did the blue tests with all the gouaches that I have to kind of see the difference because I had questions. And I'll link the video on that. But then I did Zenacolor. And the Zenacolor saga goes on. So this was... So this is the end result. This is what it looks like when it dries. And it's clumpy and like really clumpy. You can't... I don't know if you can see how clumpy that is. It dries. It doesn't mix very well. It was gross. And I'm going to paint with that today to get rid of it. But I need to like say something because Zenacolor, I put a review up on Amazon with all the other ones that said, "Oh my God, you should not use this paint. It's horrible." And I got contacted by BAM, which is like I think the parent company. Well, I remember when I looked all this up. And they wanted to know what they could do to make it better. And I was like, make better paint? Like, I mean, what do you say at that point? Like, this stuff is gross, and we're going to get more into that. And I was like, here, make better paint. This is the problems. And they said... And then they just refunded my money. Like, it's been months. Like, they didn't need to do that. But they did refund my money because I didn't like it. I don't know what they do for everybody, but obviously I'm not returning the paints because I just noticed something that it's digging into my desk there. Alright, it's fine. Because I obviously can't return them after I squeeze them all out. But I decided to use them up as part of my use up all my stuff. I am going to paint with them for the class. But that's not what I'm going to turn in today. I am going to be using the Royal Langernickel and the Zenacolor. I've set up my sketchbook with the two sides, so side by side. I do need to do some color mixing for the class, so we'll do that. And obviously my lovely, I love this palette so much. Wet palette for the gouache. I can't remember, was this really liquidy? This might be too liquidy for that. We'll see. We'll see. But doing actual painting with the gouache, I want to use a wet palette. But first, before we do anything, it has been months. Months, I tell you. And in here is where I squeezed all of that Zenacolor paint. Can you believe it? Look at this. It's all like separated out and gross. Like, look at all the black that's come to the top. You can barely see some of the colors for the black. Like, this shit is gross. I'm going to, before I do anything else, so I have opened it up briefly here and there, not very often, not even every week, and kind of sprayed it down a bit. treating it like a lot of videos of the Hime jelly gouache cups. So I haven't touched it. So I need to mix all of this up. And I realized I forgot my paint cloths again. Oh, jeez. I have all my water. I have palettes. I have brushes. So just doing like the coverage part like she is, the first thing I notice is like right away, at least with this paint, it dries so fast. I mean, I knew it would. It just, I guess I didn't think it would like just dry on the brush like that. So I'm having to get more and more water, and then more paint, because this paint is not very opaque. Well, it is, but it isn't. But it lifts out the page too. So like, so I'm having trouble. It looks really. This is really streaky. Ugh. So just trying to get it like smooth is really hard, and I don't want to water it too far. But let's just come up here and add trees. So I'm going to do that. But like, and kind of bushes back here. But that's kind of like that hard part, like grabbing more paint. Ugh. I don't know. Because I want it to, honestly, I want it to work where it just melts into each other. Okay, so I'm starting to feel better about it. It is layering really well, so there's that. I'm actually going to stop on this point. This is only keeping my paints wet, which is great. Just want to get as much off my brush as I can before I clean it. There we go. And I'm going to work on this side. Alright, so I do need to mix some things. So I do have this to mix some colors on. Here we go. We're going to try the same. Oh my gosh, it looks so shiny on the camera. I just looked at it and it looks really shiny. Did the other one? I'll have to look. I remember it looking that shiny on the camera. It's so hard, like, to move this around, like, even just trying to get the same amount. Even, so just to comparisons, these are both really cheap brands, right? And really inexpensive, but just with a little bit that I was able to do on this side, I am grabbing way more on this. And when I lay it down, it immediately like sticks to the page. I can't quite get it to not look, I mean, it's streaky. They're both streaky, but this one's really streaky. I guess I wasn't prepared for with gouache. I don't, since it's the first time actually painting with it. I wasn't prepared for it to just lift off the page when you went over it with the brush too much, so that's good to know. I'm going to try again to get this a little bit darker up here, which I'm failing with miserably. But okay, we'll call that blue. Trying to, I think my puck came up. Yeah, it did. Okay, get back down there, puck. Trying to wash out my brush some so I can get the green and the black. They have this really off green, but that's not what I want. I want this kind of brighter green. This is the Viridian, because the Hooker's green is just too dull, I guess. Let's get that and a little black. Go. So I'm just, the colors I'm mixing are the instructions from the instructor. So someone's going, oh my god, you're mixing black. Well, one of the things I noticed with gouache, which I actually kind of appreciate, is that mixing the colors is a little bit more, don't know. Ooh, my paper's going everywhere. I should have clipped it down. I will say gouache really feels different. Like when it goes on, even though it like kind of like dries on the brush really quickly, it goes on really smooth. I'm gonna call that good there. I need to find my clips, because I think that needs to happen. Okay. We're going to clip down my page like a smart person would. Because it's going all over the place when I paint. Come here, page. Trying to get it so it's on the tape. There we go, that should help. Alright. I just painted my because I'm mixing these on here. I want it to dry. Switch my size of brush here. why is this doing that? Ugh, fine. Like it's cutting into it, and I don't like that. I just want it to layer on, and it's way more difficult. Than it was on this side. Like I'm just trying to push it up and create little shapes. And I'm having a lot more difficulty doing that. It's like, okay. Like I couldn't, I don't like, why is this hard? I'm like trying to struggle and get like this to layer a bit, and it's just becoming a muddy mess. Like seriously, I shouldn't. Okay, we're gonna grab some straight green and try. There we go. So I had to pull like just the straight sap green here. This is sap. No, this is emerald green. Sorry, this is the emerald green in order to get it, because everything else I was doing, like, you can't see it. Where you can clearly see it here. And that's not right. Like I'm trying to mix it lighter, but it immediately blends in too much. I'm gonna come through. Oh gosh, it's starting to clumpy. It's starting to get all clumpy. Like, no matter how much I mix it down, it's becoming a clumpy kind of mess. And I'm supposed to be getting these large quibble. Like, the Zenacolor stuff is just so bad. Like, I can't even describe it. Like, I wouldn't even suggest practicing with these because this is so frustrating. Like, right now, I can't. It, like, eats itself up. And I know gouache, you're supposed to, it reactivates itself, but this is crazy. Like, and here it's like drying really chalky on this side, but not over here. It's really uneven. We're going to stop and come back to this one, I think, right now, because I am getting super frustrated with how this is working and looking. So let's come back to here. So like immediately the difference. Same brush, same, like I just dipped it in the paint, and I'm supposed to be doing these little lines, and I can get these little lines where this was getting clumpy, and no matter how little I put on the brush, if I put too little, it just disappeared. Like right into the background color, where this is layering very nicely and is not disappearing into the color. It is a little bit there because I'm running out of color. Let me get some more here. Green. The complaint I would have about the Royal Langer nickel is at this point is that, let's see, it is a bit hard to mix, but I'm still getting nice kind of brassy looks. Let's get a little bit bigger here, like she says. to finish the grass on there. Oh gosh. Maybe if I take some white and really mix it into this green, I can get something. And some of that yellow. Some more water. It's so clumpy on my brush. The Zenacolor. Like, I'm trying to get as much off as I can, but it just doesn't want to let me do these really nice thin lines with the same brush. Well, let's come in, try to get some longer grass. Like, come on. Like, what the hell? I'm trying really lightly to go. I can't, like, it shouldn't just be, like, done like this. I don't know. Ick. Okay, well, let's just... Come on. Why can't, like, okay, paint on brush. Nice stroke. Nope, come on. Like, I can't get a good stroke out of this at all. Like, it's done. Like, on the tip, it doesn't flow down, and I don't know if that's that jelly consistency. Like, it won't... I load my paintbrush full of paint. It should flow down. It should flow down the brush, and it's not. I load it up, and if I only do just a little bit right on the tip, I can get that done. But then it's gone. I can't get a good line with this stuff. Like, what? I tell you, you know, fine. I can't get a good line with it. Whatever. Oh, that blue's already dry. I'm going to try to do something a little bit lighter here before I go back to the... Okay, so loaded full. I'm going to try to get some of this darker in here first and then come back with the light. But it feels like I can't get it light. I mean, like, and this should be white. Like, it's so dull. So dull. Try to brighten it up a bit now. Some yellow and white. Like, come on. I mean, I knew it was going to be bad, but really? Come on, you can do it. Nope, you can't. And I don't know if it's the lack of pigment. or the binder. Or what? But just, ew, in comparison. And it's so, why is it shiny? Like, look at that shiny. Why is it drying shiny? It doesn't look shiny at all, but when you put it in the light like that, it totally is drying shiny. Like, and it's not behaving like acrylic. It's like bad, it's poster paint. This, they've made poster paint. That's what it really reminds me of. A jelly poster paint. Like the kind that you give kids to do finger painting in. This is much nicer. Like, not, I wouldn't say the best ever, but it's pretty good. Okay, flowers. We're gonna go back to the Royal Langernickel gouache and do the flowers. So, filled my brush up, and I'm still painting. Like, this is how it should work. So, now how this one is complete. So now we're going to do the flowers on this side. I might go back in and put some. Actually, I'm going to do that now because I have a clean brush. Get some duller green here and just kind of go in just a little bit. So this was fun. This side, the Royal Langernickel, I could keep painting with them, and I am glad that the Zenacolors are just. But I am gonna keep. I am gonna keep torturing myself to use up these paints. It's gonna get crazy. I can see I'm probably gonna use them up pretty quickly. Or at least as far as the white goes, it's already almost gone, but let's do the flowers on this side now. Okay. So it worked a lot better since there was so much white in there, which doesn't make me happy because the white's almost gone. So I'm gonna try to grab some blue to make some more green with this white instead of the green. That way I can get kind of a lighter color. And kind of come in here. Nope. Shit. Come on. I just want a thin line. There we go. Try to get some thin lines in here that are a bit brighter maybe. So much work. Like, I think that's the key. It's just the amount of work it takes to do simple things like a line. I went back and did the darker things like she did in her video. But here I just want to get some better defined. Don't worry about this one since it's mostly on the tape. And I'm actually going to come back here. Put some details here. Oh, it looks so flat. Alright. So that's those two. That was not fun, even slightly. And I am not... This was so difficult. And it didn't have to be. Because it wasn't as near as difficult. I think this looks like it's brighter on camera. Where this one does not. But it wasn't supposed to be brighter. And I could get a lot of thinner lines, a lot more dimension with the R&L and Zenacolor that I just really couldn't get with these. But there we go. I tortured myself enough for today. I will spray these down and close them up again until the next time. I hope you enjoyed this. And this is my first painting with gouache ever. And I have thoughts, but overall, I did like it. This was so difficult to get to. The Zenacolor does not flow down the brush. It does it just clumps up so badly. The R&L and Zenacolor, while not my favorite of the paints that I got, was actually kind of nice. So there was that. Well, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. I realize I didn't show you the satisfying bit, but this is what it looks like when I took the tape off. That makes everything better sometimes after you've just had a rough painting session.